Hi guys, welcome. Thank you for joining me today, and welcome to anyone who's watching the replay as well. So in this live English lesson, we're going to be talking about film and TV. So let me just bring up my slides. How's it going today? Here it is hot. Well, it's humid. It's really humid. So it's not very comfortable, unfortunately. Yeah, sticky. Good. Yeah, glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So let's bring that up. Okay. Sticky there as well. Ooh, yeah, I feel your pain. It's not very nice, is it? Hi, Dan. How's it going today? Vitaly, hello. How are you? How's your week going? I can't believe it's Thursday already. This week is just sort of evaporating, vanishing on me. I spent most of today working on, well, actually this morning I had some things delivered from England because although I've been living in Spain for a long time and most of my things are here, I had some boxes in my friend's loft. And so they were delivered today, 9 boxes. I have no idea where I'm going to put those things. My flat is small. It's basically 2 rooms. Like there's the living room and I don't know if you can even call it a kitchen. It's like a one work surface, and the bedroom and a small bathroom as well. Yeah, where am I going to unpack 9 boxes worth of things? I don't know. Right, so let's get on to this. So the first thing to mention on this topic is the word film itself. So this is traditionally British, and in the USA, or American English, it's movie. However, you got to accept now that actually it's very, very common to hear movie in the UK as well. And I think it's probably as common as film. In fact, when I think of my friends, more of them say movie than film. So, Jenny, hello. Yeah, exactly, Vitaly. It's a kitchen come living room. It's fortunately I'm not much of a cook, so it doesn't really bother me that I have a very small kitchen. It's not even a kitchen area, kitchen come living room. But yeah, it's very small. There's no room for anything else in this flat. Like, I mean, right now, you may not know this because I have this lovely background, but I work from my bedroom. There's not enough space in the living room. And so in here, I've got a wardrobe and the bed, and there's loads of suitcases in the corner because I don't have anywhere to put them, like the contents of them. So yeah, it's a kitchenette, exactly. It's not exactly a studio flat. A studio flat is literally one room. So in a studio flat, you would have your bed also like in the living room. It would all just, the living room, bedroom and kitchen would be in one. So it's not a studio, it's a 1-bedroom flat. But yeah, it's a small one. It's very small, which is fine. You know, I quite like actually living in a small space. There's less to clean. But from the point of view of not accumulating too much stuff, like things you don't need, it's also good. I mean, I can't do that because there's nowhere to put everything. So yeah. Ettore, hello. Yeah. Yeah, well, there is something to that. Yeah. Hi, Alexander. It's more comfy. You're right. I like that word, comfy. It's a very English thing to say. For anyone that doesn't know, comfy is short for comfortable. Hi, Patricia. How's it going? Yeah, haha, you read my mind. Do you know what I'm going to say next, Dan? So it still relates to the word choice. So film in the UK, movie, which is now everywhere and the preferred term of many of my friends. Although, like a dinosaur, I cling on to film. Also, series. I want to talk about series. Abby, hello. How's it going? Cool. Yeah, good. Glad to hear that. Series. A thing to mention about this is that series is both singular and plural. I hear a lot of people say, I watched a series last night, but that is not correct. Series doesn't exist in English, except maybe as wasn't Siri like Siri rather than Siri, a like a mobile assistant on iPhone, maybe, perhaps. Cool, good, glad to hear it. So we say, what's your favorite series? Meaning one series. And I'm watching several series at the moment, meaning more than one. I am currently actually like, are you watching any series right now? Let me know in the comments. So what am I watching? I am rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've loved it since it came out, but now I'm watching it in Spanish. So I already know it well. I don't have to pay too much attention in order to understand, but it's helping me, improve my Spanish a little bit. Wednesday, I just finished watching Wednesday. Like I did enjoy that. I thought that was really good. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's very popular. Big Bang Theory, I like that too. Yeah, I never get tired of that. Series is an invariable noun, right? Yeah. I actually haven't heard that term before. Invariable noun. Invariable nouns are nouns that have the same form in both singular and plural. There you go. I've learned something new today. Thank you. Invariable nouns. Yeah, like sheep. One sheep, two sheep, for example. Interesting. I always think of them as, what do I think of them as? Kind of plural nouns. Unsolicited feedback alert. Series. Barracks means species headquarters. Some of the nouns are of same form in singular and plural. Yeah, the barracks. Species. Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, chili. Nice. Nice. Yeah, English people say chili like we do with the vegetable chili pepper. So rather than chili. I was lucky enough to spend a very short amount of time, not lucky that it was short, but lucky to do it, to visit Chile years ago, 2007, briefly. Yeah, deer, one deer, two deer, like Bambi. Anime? No, I don't really. I have watched anime in the past, but I don't, not recently. Certainly. What have I watched recently? Yeah, Wednesday. Aside from Buffy, which I'm rewatching at the moment, mainly for the purposes of improving my Spanish. So I'm not a film buff, which is someone who watches a lot of films and knows a lot about them. I wouldn't call myself a film buff, but interesting. Yeah, I like the Collins dictionary. It's a good one, the Collins online dictionary. Collins is particularly good for if you're searching for synonyms. If you want to expand your vocabulary, it's a good dictionary to use. Cool. So we can use buff as well. Like a buff is a fan or an expert. And we don't just use it to talk about, it's not just a film buff. You can be a history buff or a fashion buff, or we can use it for genres. A horror buff, for example, someone who's sort of an expert on horror films. Yeah, exactly. A film aficionado, I like that. So no, I'm not, although I did work in a video store throughout my time at university. That was a very cool job. It was part-time back in the days of VHS video. If any of you here, I know some of you are old enough to remember those. And yeah, it was fabulous. It was a little independent video store. It was a little bit like, if any of you have ever seen the film Empire Records, my video store part-time work days were a little bit like Empire Records. So that's what it puts me in mind of, little independent shop. It was cool. So I used to be a film buff. Nowadays, I don't have time. Classic movies. Yeah, I'm a fan of classics as well. I've got to say, I like, I do enjoy, there are certain black and white films that I like, but there aren't that many people that will watch them with me. There's one which I love, which is called The Ghost and Mrs. Muir. I don't know if any of you have seen that. It's old, but it's fabulous, I think. Yeah. Manuel, hello. History buffs, a good web about films. I haven't come across it. To buff something means to make it temporarily better. Yeah, buff, it does have various other meanings as well. An inveterate cinema goer. I'm not, it's too loud for me. So I just find it far too loud. Jenny, if you like old films, another one that you must watch is it's old school, Kind Hearts and Coronets, which I think, let's just check, from 1949. Goodness me. With Alec Guinness. It's fabulous. It's a little bit dark but funny. What is it? Yeah, it's hot here as well, hotter than hell, as people say. But the issue here is the humidity. It's very, to use the dreaded word, moist. Hate that word, but that's what it's like today. Yeah. So let's go back to yeah. Anyone else who likes classics, be sure to check out Kind Hearts and Coronets. It's fabulous. Nice. History, or so historical films. Yeah. So I'm going to look at genres here. Like, can you name these different genres? Like, whatever number, put your thoughts in the chat. And we'll continue our discussion in the meantime. Like, also another old film, which is, I mean, not old, it's not black and white, but Breakfast at Tiffany's. That's a lovely one to enjoy that. 6, Western. Yeah, I am a huge fan of Westerns, I gotta say. I love a Western. 7, Detective. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yep. I am a fan of slasher films, it's true, which we're going to talk about a little later in the stream. Anyone doesn't know what a slasher film is, you will. Yeah. Russian movie, war era movies. Oh, I've missed that from my list. Yeah, war films. That's a common genre, popular genre. I like war films. My favorites are probably, I mean, you can't beat like Apocalypse Now. That's a good one. Charlie Sheen. Full Metal Jacket. That's a good one as well, if we're thinking like war films. Yeah, so we've had, yeah. Comic, we wouldn't typically call it comic. There's comedy and there's animation, which are different. So 9 is indeed horror. 2, so 2 is not the rom-com, but you can see the rom-com next to it. So we've got 8 is indeed sci-fi. Sci-fi. So yeah, 9 is the horror. 8's the sci-fi. 7 detective, but there's a bit of crossover. It could also be a thriller. I was thinking of number 5 as the thriller. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So 8's the sci-fi. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 9 horror. 10 crime, yeah. 13, yeah, musical. Quite enjoy a musical from time to time. I really like the Phantom of the Opera with Gerard Butler, partly because it reminds me of some time that I spent in New Zealand with a friend of mine, Bao. Hello, Bao, if you're watching. I don't think Bao watches my live streams, actually, but we watched Phantom of the Opera together, and I've loved it ever since because it makes me think of him. Yeah. 10 crime, thriller. Yeah. It's fabulous, isn't it? Full Metal Jacket. Wonderful. Yeah. 14. Yeah, tragedy. I was thinking 14 more drama. It's a drama, which could be a tragedy. Yeah. I'm a bit of a strange one because I love Westerns. None of my friends like Westerns, but I used to watch them with my dad when I was a kid. Yeah, my face is in the way. Let me move my face out of the way of number 11. Yeah, so 14 is drama. 10, crime, which is often a thriller. Slasher films, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Saw, Wrong Turn. Yeah. The Hills Have Eyes. I watched that with my brother. We were, because if any of you have seen The Hills Have Eyes, 2 of the main characters are brother and sister. And my brother and I were watching it, and we just, we made eye contact, and it was like, ooh, awful. Imagining being in that situation. Yeah. Do I like old religious movies? I don't know if I've ever seen an old religious movie. Maybe, does Ben-Hur count as a religious movie? I mean, it does feature Jesus. I like that. I thought it was a good film. Yeah, 16. Well, it could be a mystery, but I'm thinking for 16, actually, anime. Yes, yeah, anime. 12, classic romantic. Actually, number 12 we call a period drama. Think Pride and Prejudice, or more recently there's that series Bridgerton, which I really enjoy because I like a period drama. Downton Abbey, that's another popular period drama. Fabulous one. And there's a new Downton Abbey film, I think. I don't know if it's already out or coming out soon. Yeah, 11, Hideaki Fantasy. Exactly. Exactly. So I think, yeah, 15, cartoon. Yep, or animation also. Nice. I never went to the cinema that much when I was younger, from time to time. Netflix has destroyed the cinema. Yeah, nowadays a lot of people just watch at home, don't they? And it's, I think, certain streaming platforms now, I think Disney for one, allow you to pay to have the new releases to watch them at home. All right, Gov. Hello, Freddie. How's it going? Late to the party. What have you been doing? What have you been doing? Scent of a Woman. Yeah, that is a fabulous film. Long time since I've seen that. Anything with Al Pacino is good, isn't it, really? One of my favorite Al Pacino films has got to be Devil's Advocate. That's a good one. With Keanu Reeves as well. So that's, yeah. And Heat, that's another good one with Pacino. I haven't seen any of those, but I will add them to my list. Freddie, fanning about or fannying? Fannying about, fannying around. Haven't seen Jack and Jill either. What am I doing? Yeah. God sets the rules in opposition, yeah. Robert De Niro, fabulous, yeah. Heat has both, doesn't it? It's just got a fabulous cast. You've got Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Michael Madsen, I think, Val Kilmer. Spaghetti Western, yes. I am a huge fan of the Spaghetti Western. I grew up, watching those with my dad. So The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, for a fistful of dollars and for a few dollars more. Pretty much anything with Clint Eastwood, I'm a fan. I have this folder on my, not this laptop, but my old one, called the Clint Eastwood Bible of Ass Kickery, which is basically just a long list of Clint Eastwood films. So, yeah, Taxi Driver. Macaroni Western, wow. Oh dear, I like that. So let's get back onto it. We're going to talk about types of comedy here. So this is personally my least favorite type of comedy. And this is what we would call slapstick. This kind of comedy I think of being more typical in the US, although I could be wrong. It's not, I mean, Mr. Bean, he is English, isn't he? But I don't typically think of this style of comedy as being like particularly British. Maybe I'm wrong, because the Paddington films are very slapstick and they're set in the UK. So it's all about exaggerated physical comedy. Not my cup of tea. Interesting. The Painted Veil. That rings a bell, but I don't think I have seen it, or if I have, it was a long time ago. Yeah, DiCaprio, yeah, also excellent. Gotta love a bit of Tarantino. And of course, I don't know, like, so the term cameo, Tarantino often cameos in his own films. In other words, he has like a cameo role, he's just in it briefly, he's not a main character. Scarlet Pimpernel, yes, I like that. So they seek him here, they seek him there. I don't remember the rest of the chant. Sharon Stone, yeah, I'm a fan of Sharon Stone. She disappeared from the acting scene for some years because she had a stroke and she had a long recovery, but she's back now, I think, and making films again, which is good. So this is more my type of comedy. I don't know if any of you have seen this. This is The Royal Tenenbaums, and this is what we call dry humor. So the kind of dry humor would be, it's a style where jokes are funny, but they are delivered in a serious, calm, or emotionless way. I absolutely love dry humor, and it's what people consider typically to be more of a British style of comedy. Another one, In Bruges. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely watch it. This type of comedy is, well, Keeping Mum, another favorite of mine, with the late, great Maggie Smith. Black or dark comedy. When you say actress is forbidden lately, how do you mean? Like the term actress? I think you're right there. A lot of actresses now prefer to just be referred to as actors rather than actresses. Ingrid Bergman. What was she the actress in Casablanca or not? I don't remember. Why are British films not as successful? Well, we don't have Hollywood in the UK. Eugene, hello. Con artists, the Sting, Robert Redford, Paul Newman. Paul Newman was a handsome man. Makes me think of, it's an old film. Is it Paul Newman? I think Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Or was that Marlon Brando? Streetcar Named Desire was Marlon Brando. Another guy who was extremely handsome in his youth. Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer. Did Hitchcock do cameos? Maybe he did. I've seen quite a lot of Hitchcock films, not recently, but I don't remember. Yeah. Rest in peace, Robert Redford. I didn't know that Robert Redford was no longer with us. What We Do in the Shadows. I've seen that on streaming sites, but I haven't actually watched it. Yeah, I think I agree. The Brits do black comedy very well. So this is kind of possibly a new adjective for you here, wry humor, which is basically laughing at bad or difficult situations. And my favorite, this is my favorite film, I think, of all time, is The Big Lebowski. It kind of fits into the category of black comedy, but it's not, I wouldn't consider it to be very dark, really. It's more of a light-hearted black comedy, I would say. Yeah. So when we talk about films, we talk about the plot. Now, the plot is the story of a film, also a book or play. So it's what happens and in what order it happens. And something worth mentioning here is that when we relay the plot, we often use the present simple tense. So if I wanted to tell you what happens in The Big Lebowski, I would say, well, this guy comes home. He's been out bowling, I think, and then suddenly these guys like charge at him and rush him into his bathroom and flush his head down the toilet. And then one of the guys pees on his rug, which leads to, him, a whole, I won't spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but it's fabulous. Yeah. Monty Python, yeah, very famous. Life of Brian, yeah. I do enjoy a bit of Monty Python. Full Monty, yeah. That was a good one. Fish Called Wanda, that's a good one. Jamie Lee Curtis, John Cleese. So, yeah, I won't go into the plots of films too much because I don't want to, be guilty of any spoilers, which is basically information about the story, especially the ending, that ruins it for someone who hasn't seen or read it yet. So if someone's going to give a spoiler, first they ought to say spoiler alert so you can, step away. Yeah. Tarantino, yeah, is a master of odd plots, that's for sure. That is for sure. And when we talk about plots, we might want to talk about a cliffhanger, which is sort of an exciting ending to a chapter if it's a book, or an episode if it's a series, or possibly a film that's part of a series where the problem isn't solved and it makes you want to know what happens next. So this cliffhangers lead to binge watching. And to binge means to consume a lot of something. So if you binge watch a series, I did this with 24, which is fabulous. You watch many episodes of a series or films in one sitting, often without stopping. So if you haven't seen 24, every episode, because it's told in real time, every episode ends with a cliffhanger. So it just makes you want to keep watching and binge watch, basically. I think it is epic, very big, exciting, or impressive. And we can use epic to describe films and everyday experiences too. Yeah. 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 Django, I like that one. There's an original, there's also the remake. Types of comedy or types of comedies? I would say types of comedy rather than types of comedies. Like typically in the supermarket, you can buy many types of shampoo, not types of shampoos. So usually we would follow it with a singular form. Historical present. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's used in sports commentary as well. He shoots, he scores. Present tense, even though, it's already happened and it's in the past. Aha! Jenny, you've read my mind. A plot twist, excuse me. So we're coming to that. So on the topic of cliffhangers, then we have the plot twist, which is a surprising change in the story that you did not expect. The film that comes to mind thinking of plot twist is probably, and this is a little old now, but The Usual Suspects with, this was Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Spacey, Benicio del Toro as well, and Stephen Baldwin, I think. Brilliant film with major twist at the end. Yeah. Murder is the steward in reference to Agatha. I love Agatha Christie. The Einstein series on National Geographic. No, I haven't. I haven't seen it. Is it a docu-series? Is it documentary, or is it like a sort of crime drama? Troya, or Troy in English. Yeah. In the bathtub. Freddie, that's too much information. I don't have a bathtub. I only have a shower here, which is fine. Yeah. Yes. Did M. Night Shyamalan, did they do one that's, I don't know, having a mental block? Films. Glass Split. Actually, most of these, The Sixth Sense, yeah, and Unbreakable. The Village, I liked The Village with Joaquin Phoenix. Thought that was a good one. Yeah, and yeah, it is superb. Knives Out. I preferred Glass Onion. I thought that was better. Yeah. Yeah. Vanilla Sky, yeah, it does have quite the twist. Some people like a soak in the tub, Manuel. I don't. I get itchy sitting in the bath, and I don't like spas. They gross me out. I'm like, ugh, all those other people. Yeah. Oh, what's happened here? My screen has frozen for me, at least. If it's frozen for everybody else, that's frustrating. Okay, there we go, yeah. Happy ending. So the end of a film we refer to as the ending. Like, did you like the ending? How was the ending? The ending was a little disappointing. I often find that with horror films. So a happy ending, as well, it's self-explanatory, isn't it? When the story ends in a positive way, versus an open ending when the story finishes without clear answers and you're just left to imagine what happens next. When I was younger, I preferred, I guess, open endings or even a sad ending because I felt like it was more realistic. But the older I get, I find that I prefer a happy ending. I think. I don't know why that is. Like, how about you? Do you prefer to watch films with happy endings or not? Only for romantic people. Well, I don't think I'm getting any more romantic as I get older. So why do I prefer happy endings nowadays? I don't know. Maybe because life is depressing enough, like if you watch the news. So a little escapism with a happy resolution to a film. Back to types of comedy. Catch-22 is one of my favorite. It's a book originally. It's also been a film, and now there's this fabulous series. This is what we call satire. Yeah, exactly. Once upon a time, the princess lived forever. They lived happily ever after, is what we say. Yeah, it's true. I do. In fact, one of my favorite films is Pan's Labyrinth, which is Guillermo del Toro. And you can imagine the ending. You can see it from two different perspectives. So it can be happy or sad, depending on how you see it. It's a fabulous film. Absolutely fabulous. Jessica, hello. Welcome. Oops. So satire. This is satire mocks social or political issues. Not everybody likes satire. Some people get offended by satire, I think. This Catch-22, for example, offends some people. I love it, personally. Yeah. Me too. He's a genius. Absolute genius. Is comedy used as an uncountable noun in the sentence? Types of comedy. In this case, really, it's an adjective. Comedy film, I guess. This is a shorter way of saying it. Types of comedy film. Or types of comedy. Yeah, if you were referring to comedy in a general sense rather than comedy films, then it would be an uncountable noun. And yeah, comedies is countable when talking about films. Like, I enjoy watching comedies, you could say. And also plays, like Shakespeare wrote many comedies. Yeah. Yeah, and you're right, Catch-22 is an idiom. I've done a little video on this. It's very popular. Yeah. Interesting. Dominique. I have not seen this. The Tails Dog. Dustin Hoffman. Al Pacino. I haven't seen that either. Oh, so many films I haven't seen. And mock, in case anyone is wondering, is to laugh at someone in an unkind way, typically copying or mimicking them. Yeah. Satire about Clinton affair. I haven't seen that. Mockumentaries, yeah, a mockumentary, sort of a fake documentary, something done in the style of a documentary, but that is not. It's kind of laughing at it. So I enjoy satire. Another type of comedy, for example, Just Like Heaven with Reese Witherspoon, or The Lost City with Sandra Bullock. Pretty much anything with Reese Witherspoon or Sandra Bullock. And that's where you get the rom-com, short for romantic comedy. So, and an adjective you might often hear in relation to this type of film is cheesy, having nothing to do with actual cheese. But if something's cheesy, it tries to be romantic, funny, or emotional, but it feels fake, silly, or low quality. So cheesy is often used in a negative way, although I actually I'm not a huge fan of rom-coms, but I do like the two that I've shown here, the Lost City and Just Like Heaven. I think they're nice. You might also hear soppy to describe a film and also a person. So like overly sentimental or emotional, often relating to love. It's quite similar to cheesy. So, yeah, a cheesy film, cheesy love story, or soppy. Is cheesy the same as corny? Yeah, basically. Yeah, it is. Yeah, nice. Yep. Heaven Can Wait. Have I said? I haven't seen that one, although the name rings a bell. Peter Sellers, The Party. I haven't seen that one either. Soap opera. I missed that. Yeah, soap operas. A soap opera is a series based on like just daily life. So there's a very popular soap. We often shorten it and just say soap. It's a very popular soap in England called EastEnders, which is set in the East End of London. And yeah, it's all about the day-to-day lives of the people who live in that area. I'm not a fan. It's too depressing. Everyone's always angry with everyone else. But as a kid, I used to watch Neighbours, which was an Australian soap. It was on every single day, set in a place called Ramsay Street. which when I was in Australia, I visited because why not? And yeah. Holiday. Bandana. Are you thinking of Holiday with, because there's an, oh no, there's an old film called Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn. That's good. But then there's a new one called The Holiday, and that has Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jack Black, I think, and Jude Law, which I enjoy. It's a little cheesy, I would say, but I quite like it. Yeah. Love thy neighbors as it's one of the things we are taught from the Bible. Yeah. Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley. I like the BBC Pride and Prejudice, the series. That's really good. Yeah. South American soap operas are hilarious. Like, you don't even need to understand what's happened, like, to speak Spanish, because the acting is so dramatic. Okay, yeah, this one, The Holiday. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that Christmas film. One that I don't like is, which everybody seems to love, thinking of Christmas films, is Love Actually. Not a fan for some reason. Find it a little depressing. A Mexican soap opera set in Japan. Nice. Naked Gun. Yeah, I enjoy the Naked Gun films. We used to have them all on video when I was a kid that we'd recorded off the television with Leslie Nielsen, I think, is the actor. I don't know. I don't think I've seen that version. Yeah. Fresh as a Daisy. Yeah, it's very popular. My family love it. I think I'm a bit strange. I don't know if I've ever met anyone who agrees with me, who doesn't like it. Only a headline. Ooh. Betty La Fea. Yeah, in English well, yeah, because we have, well, they made this series, didn't they? The American series Ugly Betty, which I believe is based on Betty La Fea. It's a soap opera. It is a Christmas classic. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it too. I like a period drama, as we say. Do like a period drama. Horror. I am a fan of horror, as I said earlier. So we have, first of all, this type of horror, which is what we mentioned before. This is the slasher. And the typical adjective that you might use here is gory. Showing a lot of blood, injuries, or violence in detail. I never minded sort of gory things in the past, and it's another thing that's changed as I get older. I'm not as keen on gory films now as I used to be. I'd prefer not to see quite so much blood and guts, which is a typical way of describing very graphic violence with lots of blood and body parts. Although I did watch I guess it was a B movie, a sort of low budget horror film the other day called Cryptid, I believe was the English title. I watched it in Spanish. It was La Criatura. I quite enjoyed it, but it was a bit gory, a bit too much in the way of blood and guts. Clueless. OMG. Yeah, I actually love Clueless because it reminds me of my youth, my teenage years, I guess. It came out when I was in school, and all the girls were walking around the school going, whatever. and just imitating it. So I did, yeah, enjoy that. Can't watch gory scenes, no. A lot of people, I think, agree with you. Yeah. Game of Thrones is filled with gore. Yeah, blood and guts everywhere in Game of Thrones. And foul language. I love Game of Thrones, I've got to say. I read the books before I watched the series. Do I miss Blighty? No, I don't, actually. I don't miss England at all. I don't like fish and chips particularly. They can be good, but most of the time they're not. I don't miss the weather. Okay, so we're coming to that because I am obsessed, right, with the entire like Alien franchise. So the other type of horror film that we've got is what we call supernatural. And I've chosen this one here, Sinister, to talk about because it actually made me feel really uncomfortable. So, like, supernatural horror films can be spooky, which is sort of strange and a little scary, or they can be disturbing, which is how I found Sinister to be. Like, it made me feel uncomfortable. I thought it was meh, whatever, when I watched it. And then later, I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't get it out of my head. And it didn't feel very nice. So now I don't really watch supernatural horror. I prefer slashers in the genre. So as we mentioned Alien, let's talk about franchises. So a franchise is a collection of related films, sometimes spin-off TV shows, merchandise, books, etc., built around the same character's universe or brand. And this is my example, the Alien franchise. I mean, there are so many. So this falls into two genres, doesn't it? It's sci-fi and horror rolled into one. And then we've got sequels, for example, Aliens, which is the next film in a story. Yeah. Gilmore Girls. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that. Again, that reminds me of my youth. Yeah, that's true. The Birds, Psycho. Excellent. Gotta love a bit of E.T. as well. The Halloween franchise. Yeah, I love the Halloween franchise, although I don't know, you might argue that those are sort of cheesy horror, but yeah, I like them. I am a fan. Going to haunted places looking for ghosts, rather you than me. No, sir. No. The Shining. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one. So another one that made me feel uncomfortable was the original Ring, the Japanese version. I was watching it thinking, whatever, and then she crawled out of the TV set and I felt distinctly uncomfortable. So in the Alien franchise, then we've got prequels, like Prometheus. So the prequel is set before the original story. It's made later, but it's set before. So the events happen earlier. Still young. I'm not over the hill, but I'm not exactly a spring chicken either. Yeah, this one, The Professional, this is brilliant, but we call this usually just Leon. So that's how most English people know that film with Jean Reno. I may have probably pronounced his name incorrectly there. But yeah, fabulous film. Yeah. It's a classic, isn't it? 28 Days Later. Yeah. Didn't like the Shining sequel. I haven't seen that. Yeah. What does Naked Gun stand for? I have no idea. No idea. It's a sort of joke title, I think, there. Also got to mention trilogies, things like Lord of the Rings or Back to the Future. There aren't that many trilogies anymore, a set of 3 related films. We also have the quadrilogy, which would be a set of 4 related films. And equally, there aren't that many quadrilogies anymore because there just seem to be like 5, 6, 7 films in a series. We've also got remakes, which is a new version. Like think old school Beauty and the Beast, and then the remake here. And on this kind of topic, we've got this idea of being done to death. So done so much that it's become boring. Like in some franchises, they just keep churning out more and more films, more versions, milked for all it's worth, like a cow, milking the cow, trying to get all the milk out, exploited as much as possible. So sometimes you think enough's enough, stop remaking. Yeah, The Hobbit, that's true. It was a trilogy. Naked man having a gun. Yeah, although I don't think he's naked at any point. Yeah. The Harry Potter franchise, absolutely. Great Gatsby remake was only for girls. I haven't seen it. Yeah, Freaky Friday. Yeah, they've absolutely milked Star Wars. True story. I like the Star Wars films, but for me, the original trilogy is my favorite. For sure. For sure. Got some film quotes for you here. Yeah, the Marvel franchise, I agree, it has been milked, although I still enjoy them, I've got to say. I do enjoy those films. May the Force be with you. This is easy. What do you think? What's the film? Done to death westerns. Yeah, true. Although I still like them. I do. Yeah, absolutely. Star Wars. I'm afraid they're all rather easy. If you've got your own quote that you would like to share, then pop that in the chat and see if anyone can get it. I'll be back. Interesting. I haven't seen that one. Yeah. May the 4th. That's National Star Wars Day. Or International Star Wars Day, probably. Yeah, Freddie, you are right. When I complain about my age, it's only done in jest. I can as a joke. I completely agree. Aging is a privilege. Absolutely, I'm happy to be doing it. Yeah, all the Rockies for sure. Yeah. Yes. Terminator. The immortal words of Arnie. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Only can be on. I don't know. I don't know, Manuel. Only can be one. With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, which film is that for? I know. Does anyone else know? Yeah, he does, absolutely. And this one, yeah, Hasta la vista, baby. In the Spanish version of Terminator, they don't say that. I think they say sayonara instead. Sayonara, baby. Go ahead, make my day. That's Dirty Harry, isn't it? Love Dirty Harry. Elementary, my dear Watson. Yeah. Yes. I've never been in Arkansas anymore. Don't know. Don't know. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It does sound good in Spanish. Yeah, Sherlock. Indeed. Yeah. Highlander. How many Highlander films are there? There's more than one, that's for sure. Yeah. I'm the king of the world. Titanic. Daisy, not even a flower. Yeah. I haven't even read The Great Gatsby, actually. It's on my list. I think this is my last one. You're going to need a bigger boat. I like to be in America. So this one is West Side Story, isn't it? Gotta be. That there was I want to say recent. It wasn't that recent. A remake of West Side Story a few years back. Exactly. That was good. Yeah, I agree. You know, we call that kind of film a whodunit. Which actually I have written incorrectly there. It should be with just one N, whodunit. A whodunit is basically a murder mystery. So we typically refer to with great laziness comes a tremendous sleep. Yeah, for sure. I can't even say it. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, of course. Mary Poppins, yes. Yeah, exactly. A whodunit, typical of the Agatha novels. Oh, well, there's only one answer to this, I think, and that's, yeah, got to be Chucky, Child's Play. Child's Play. Am I trying to sing something? Well, I think I did sing one line of from West Side Story, but am I trying to sing something in general? No. No. Pink Panther. Which line is from the Pink Panther? Interesting. Well, yes. Yeah. So that's correct. Jaws. You're going to need a bigger boat when he sees the size of the shark. So, slides and PDFs. In my so was it last weekend I posted a short video because I was like excited about having this new AI twin. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'm just gonna show you. So I have now been cloned, essentially, and I'm in an app, which is cool. She sounds like me. She's been trained using my materials as well. so she knows what I know. So this basically is like a 24/7 speaking partner. I'm just going to show you quickly. She has a section on film and TV. Okay. That's beyond me as well. When the shit hits the fan. Yeah, that's a common expression. Like when everything goes wrong, when it all goes wrong. This one I definitely know. My precious.
All right, Em. Let's role play as if you're at a cinema, trying to decide which film to watch. I'll be the friendly ticket seller. Ready? What movie genre are you in the mood for?
Well, I love horror, so I'm thinking a horror. What can you suggest?
An ace choice. We have a new release called Midnight Shadows. It's a rather frightening psychological thriller. Do you prefer something with jump scares or a more suspenseful plot?
What's a jump scare? Can you explain that, please?
Oh, a jump scare is when a sudden loud noise or a quick image on screen makes you, well, jump. It's a classic horror film trick to make you gasp.
Okay. Yeah, I like a jump scare.
Right then, a good old jump scare it is. We've got Screaming Woods playing. It's full of unexpected frights and has a brilliant twist at the end. Have you seen any good horror films lately?
Yes.
Are you still there?
Yes, I'm being slow. I saw one the other day called Cryptid.
No worries at all. Cryptid, you say? That sounds intriguing. What was that one about then? Was it good?
It was. I've got to go, Em, but thanks for chatting with me today.
No problem at all. Thanks for the chat. It was lovely talking to you. Have a super day.
Likewise. That is me in action. So, yeah. Roger Daltrey. Roger Daltrey. This name rings a bell. Yeah. Yeah. So if you like talking about film and TV or any topic really, and you don't have a speaking partner, you can try out my AI twin. It's available 24/7, as you say. And yeah, there's currently a 3-day free trial. So give it a go. I would really love to hear your feedback as well. I'd love to know what you think of it. She's, with AI, it's developing all the time. So I'm giving feedback to the developers and, it's constantly developing and improving. So let me know what you think. If you do try it, you can find the link in the description here. So, yeah. Let's see. In Rome, there was turmoil. Yes. Police told him, "You are what is going." Gladiator. Yeah. Have you guys seen the new Gladiator film, Gladiator 2? That was what is going on with my? I'm not still screen sharing, am I? Don't think so. No. Okay, my computer's just being weird. Have you seen the new Gladiator film? It was, I quite enjoyed it, but I did also think that it was a bit silly. I mean, they had sharks in the Colosseum, which, I mean, come on. Sharks in the Colosseum? I found it unrealistic. Life is like a box of chocolates. This is very true. Very, very true. Being simple, hello. A very long time. Yeah. Where did I study? Most recently, I studied at the University of Surrey. That's where I did my master's degree. I have written, well, 2 books. One is on irregular verbs, and one is on, I've got it here actually. This one, A Concise Guide to the English Verb Tenses. It's concise, as you can see. It's not a huge book. I'm thinking about doing a second version or an add-on that has practice exercises. This is like literally just, it explains all of the verb tenses in detail. So I'm working on one at the moment about academic English, but I'm like low on time. Thank you. Yeah, I'm impressed with her. I think she's cool. It's a bit weird having her like sound like me. There you go. That is me. That is I. I mean, I guess technically it should be that is I, but nobody speaks that way. It sounds very, very formal. Very formal. Shooting a movie. Interesting. A working title of Living the Life of Riley in downtown Mogadishu. The life of Riley, yeah, living a good life, a happy life, an easy life is the life of Riley. Not sure where that expression comes from. Why Riley? Did Riley have a particularly easy life? It is available on Amazon. Yeah, it's available on all the Amazons. I'm not an Amazon affiliate partner, so I don't have a link that would like send you to all the different Amazons. So you would have to search for it. Where are we? Amazon. I mean, I'm on Amazon ES because I live in Spain. So Concise Guide to the English Verb Tenses. Let's bring it up. Yeah. I share my screen. How can I do that? Yeah, there we go. Oh, I was still sharing my screen. I wasn't aware. Well, there we go. There I am. So presumably you can see that concise guide to. I've only had a couple of reviews thus far, but they're good ones. I thought I had more reviews than that. Must be reviews are in the different marketplaces, because I'm also in England as well, in America. I'm all over Amazon, everywhere. Yeah. All right. This is a good question. Well, this is one of the reasons why I've gone ahead and sort of embraced this AIM, because let's see if we go back here. Yeah. So there's a whole load of scenarios like picking destinations, photo composition, etc. A lot of stuff there. If you live in an English-speaking country, then something like this is great for practicing. Like, for example, I have a doctor's appointment next week, and for me, it's all in Spanish, and I don't really know how to talk about the topic that I need to talk about. So I probably need to find myself like a Spanish version of this who can like practice with me talking to the doctor. So it's great for that sort of thing, practicing things before you do them, make you feel a bit more relaxed. And you can just, if you click on the thing, then you can call her and you can talk about anything that you want. She's pretty awesome with grammar. I asked her a question the other day that I thought was quite complicated, and she did a fabulous job. So yeah, I was impressed. Stop screen sharing, but yeah, so when it comes to AI, I feel like I don't think I'm necessarily, or that AI will replace teachers, but I think if you don't start using it, you'll be replaced by somebody who does use it. So That's why I decided to go ahead with the AI twin. And I think it's cool. And she's good. Like, and a lot of people tell me, you know, oof, I need a speaking partner. I don't, like, there's loads of ways you can practice English, but nothing really beats real speaking practice. So, yeah. Yeah. Make videos on grammar. Yeah, I've made lots of videos related to grammar, and I will continue to do so. Yeah. Yeah, it's available in India. It's available everywhere. Everywhere. It's also available in PDF from my Stan store if you prefer. So it depends if you like the actual paper version, then you can get it on Amazon. But if you are happy with a PDF, then you can get it from my Stan store. The link is in the video description. So yeah, you're right. AI does sometimes get it wrong. That's why, I mean, so far, everything I've asked AIM, she's got right. She hasn't made any mistakes, at least when I've spoken to her. But yeah, sometimes with ChatGPT, if I ask it questions, it gets things wrong. And as a learner, you might not know that it's wrong, but I know, because grammar's my thing, my jam, as it were. Yeah, except doctors. Well, you say except doctors, but actually, I think a lot of doctors' work is already and will in the future be replaced with AI. I think for kind of general practitioner appointments, then I think that will be replaced or certainly supplemented with AI, to be sure. It's of course, you can't have AI doing surgery and stuff at this point, but who knows where that's going to lead. Let's see. English. Try to find my store to show you, since you have asked. Which I can't find it. Where is it? Yeah. For the book, take a look in the video description. I can't remember exactly what I say in there, but I can also stick it in a comment, perhaps. Let's see. Content. In all my videos, you will find a link to Stan Store. That's where you'll find the PDF of the book. There's also Linktree, which links to everything. So there's a couple of links there. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, the PDF's cheaper than the book as well, for obvious reasons. They, don't have to pay for printing and postage. So it's, and of course, nowadays, a lot of people use ebook readers. Like me, I have a Kindle because I do most of my reading in Spanish now. And with Kindle, you can just press on a word and it brings you up the translation. So, which if you read in English, by the way, I'd recommend getting some kind of ebook reader, preferably with a function like Kindle where you press on the word and it translates it for you. So, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, a lot of people say that. Calming voice. I have this other channel, which you may or may not know about, called Classics with M, where I read classic literature. And I started that because people tell me that they find it relaxing listening to me. But I haven't had time to record anything lately for that. I was thinking about maybe starting live streaming on that channel and reading books aloud, possibly. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to pop something in the YouTube community tab and see what people think of that idea. How to conquer the ocean of vocabulary. Yeah. One step at a time. Don't try and learn too much at once. Like, I would say probably on a theme is a good idea. So group your words together. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, perhaps I'll do that. It's all a question of time, isn't it? Yeah, I will do. I will. What was I jabbering about? Oh yeah, learning vocabulary. So don't overwhelm yourself. Take like 10 words at a time, ideally based around a theme, and write them down. And what I do with them when I'm learning is I stick vocabulary lists in places where I frequently look. So in the bathroom, for example, like on the wall opposite the toilet, or on the fridge, or on the kitchen cupboard, or something like that. So every time you're in that place and you, without even thinking, you read that list, that vocabulary list that you've got there, and write some example sentences, words, like use the words in a context that's actually relevant to you, relevant to your life. And yeah, bit by bit. Bit by bit. Yeah. Can't understand English in movies and web series without subtitles. Why? Maybe the accent. Couple of reasons. I think I speak fairly slowly. And I'm not trying to speak slowly, that's just the way I speak. But I think I do speak fairly slowly. Also, my accent, like modern received pronunciation, I think is quite a clear one. So that's probably why. Speed and clarity of accent. Could also be colloquial language. I don't use loads of colloquial language, of course, when I'm speaking to English learners, unless I'm teaching it. But it's actually really good to turn off the subtitles, train your ear. It's good to get a mix. Like listen with the subtitles, listen without, listen with subtitles in your native language as well. Yeah, mumblers, yes. My brother's a mumbler, big brother. Speaks very quietly and he mumbles. And I think I speak quietly because in Spain people don't hear me. I have to do what to me feels like shouting in order to be heard. Are essential to doing and essential to do interchangeable? No. It's essential to do that means that you must do it. If you're preparing for an exam, it's essential to study. Essential to doing. This is essential to... I don't think I'd say essential to doing. No situation is coming to mind, Dan, where I would say essential to doing. You can follow essential with a piece of with a noun or noun phrase. You can say like, I don't know, doing yoga is essential to my peace of mind or something like that. Or, although I think I'd probably say essential for. It's essential for my peace of mind. It's fine if you speak basic English. Yeah, most people, well, I think the number of words that's used by most people most of the time is actually not that large, and you'll be understood. No, you don't need to use advanced vocabulary all the time. Advanced vocabulary can help you express yourself in a more precise and sort of nuanced way. And I guess it depends on the context. Like, oh, Patricia, you're welcome. Yeah, that's a point, actually. We've been going for a long time now, like an hour and a half. So I think we should probably finish. It's 7:45, which means it's time for a very boring salad for dinner. Essentially is the adverb. We use it kind of like basically. So essentially, or basically, no, you don't need to use advanced vocabulary all the time. Yeah, could be an interesting topic for a video. But, yeah, cool. Well, let's finish here, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. For anyone who's stayed the whole course, well done. Thank you. And I'll be around this weekend with something. I don't know what I'm doing yet this weekend in terms of a video. Yeah, if you get an example, share it with me, comment somewhere, and yeah, I'll have a think about it. Yeah. That skill is essential to being a doctor. Okay. Yeah. So the other channel that I have is Classics with M. And again, you can find, like, in all the video descriptions, there's a link to my link tree. It's got everything in there. It's got the link to the other channel. Yeah, essential to being. It could be the case that we only really use this structure with being rather than ing verbs in a general sense. I'll have a think about it. Make a note, because I can always do a short video on the topic. Yeah, cool. Bye, Alexander. And yeah, I've been meaning to ask you what happened to your picture of Walter, your profile pic. Yeah, you are very welcome. So yeah, I'll see you again, guys, and have a lovely rest of the day, whatever time it is for you. It's yes, there we go. Okay, I see. So it's a different. I didn't realize that you were different Alexanders, or is it the same Alexander with different accounts? What's happening? Have you got an AI twin? I'm going to hang on a sec till I get the answer to this question. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were the same person. My apologies. Oh dear. So, well, Alexander and Alexander, thank you for joining me today. And yeah, now I know. Cool. Bless you. Yeah, that would be lovely. But who knows? I like this. Different. Yes. Cool. Right. Thank you again, guys. And yeah, to any channel members among you, thank you very much for being members and supporting the channel. It does mean a lot to me. And take it easy, and I'll see you again soon.